Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. If I am Brahman, then who is responsible for my mistakes, my sins? Is the same Brahman? Then what is the role of karma phala? You will have to say that yes, since you are Brahman, Brahman, that is you, is responsible for all the good, bad, indifferent, whatever you do. And that is the one that experiences the karma phala also. Who else? Even when you see you perform action and you experience a result, what is that you? It's ultimately Brahman. So Brahma samsarati. Who is going through samsara? Brahman alone. Who is feeling pleasure and pain and sorrow and Brahman? There is no other conscious being. See, the experience is the conscious being. So nanyat, nanyaha, atahasti drashta. So there is no seer other than that, no hearer, no thinker other than that. That's all there is. Brahman alone is seer, hearer, thinker, knower, speaker, doer, experiencer. Because all of these are done by only a conscious being. An inert thing cannot do anything in experience, isn't it? A table can't do anything. A table cannot experience anything. Experience is the conscious being. The only conscious thing in the world is Brahman. There is no other consciousness or therefore, doer, enjoyer, experiencer, sinner, saint, everything is Brahman. Because then alone you can see Sabuddhi Vishishyade. Gita, Bhagavad Gita says, Surun Mitra Ari Udasena. So is a friend or a foe, a sinner or a saint, whoever it is, the one who sees the same in all of them really excels. So when can you see the same in all of them? If there is the same in all of them, which is Brahman? So Brahman, because of ignorance, takes itself to be a doer or experiencer, performs good or bad actions and experiences good or bad results. So what's the role of karma phala? No, what's the one who performs the karma becomes the receiver of the karma phala. So since you, Brahman, performs karma, you, Brahman, experience the karma phala. Is that right? I guess that was the purpose of question.
Why not the Brahman stop me or prevent me from doing something wrong?
You are Brahman. You have to stop yourself. Really? Because somebody tells you that what you are doing is wrong. Doesn't it? So when we are doing something wrong, there is a very faint voice within ourselves that this is not right. What you are doing is not. When I am about to tell that deliberately, when I tell a lie, somebody tells me this is a lie, this is not truth. So what happens is, by doing it, by violating the law again and again, that voice becomes so faint that it's almost not heard. But the so-called conscience is there. Not prevent you, but at least to make you aware. Right?
If the person who is doing wrong or says stealing,
अपन भाई
Does a person
नहीं स्विच ऑन करो.
does a person who speaks lie or say robs or
Violets, yeah.
does he have any sense of remote feeling at the bottom of the heart that he is doing wrong, or maybe intoxicated by his ideas, he doesn't feel that I am doing wrong?
It's possible. When you do the same thing again and again, it becomes a habit.
Habitual.
So, yes, a habitual liar they call it. Habitual liar, habitual offender. Meaning that he has managed to make himself so insensitive that conscience is there but registers nothing now because he has become himself so insensitive. So, there was a time, I guess, when he felt that what he is doing is wrong, but for whatever reason he continued to do that. And when you do it again and again and again, it becomes a habit. In the beginning you feel guilty when you do something. So, receiving some, corruption, something like that. You don't like. You think second time, third time, fourth time. First cup of tea you feel you should not drink. Second, third, becomes a habit so that you can't do without it. That's how it is.
It is said that Brahman is a karta and a bhokta.
1 minute, yeah. Just kindly talk in the microphone.
Swamiji, it is said that Brahman is a karta and a bhokta, and also that he's a sangaha. So how can he be responsible for anything that a person does?
He is responsible and not responsible, both. In his Swarupa he is not responsible. Because of ignorance he as though becomes responsible. Akarta, abhokta, asanga is a Swarupa. But because of ignorance he thinks he is karta, abhokta. So in the realm of ignorance this happens. Just because he looks upon himself, that doesn't mean he becomes karta or bhokta. It's just a notion, but what is the difference between vital air and life force, and how are these different from biomagnetism? Biomagnetism? That's a new term to me, but But vital air and life force are the same. This prana alone is called life. So when prana departs from the body, life has departed from the body. So life force and prana, the vital air, are the same. As long as the vital force is functioning in the body, so long the body systems function. When prana departs, they stop functioning. This biomagnetism, तुमने खबर से भी आओगे? Biomagnetism, I don't know. Is something biomagnetism? Maybe they meant something else, but in short, all the physiological functions that are going on in our body are due to prana. So one prana, which is the main prana, mukhya prana, this is coming from mouth, it's called mukhya prana. That alone gets divided into prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So different physiological functions are nothing but the modification of same prana. Is the prana of the universe and that of the human being are one and the same? Different in scale. Same prana, same air is prana at the individual level and prana at the cosmic level. The scale is different. Individual and cosmic. So it's called Adhyatma and Adhidaiva. But substance is the same. Prana is the same. Confined to one individual body, it is the individual prana. Same prana when enlivens the whole universe is a cosmic prana. But the basic substance is the same. Life force here is the cosmic life force that keeps the whole cosmos alive and going. So therefore aniti, tad jalan. So tadja, talla, tadana. Aniti means breathes, lives, sustains. If that answers your question, if not, please seek clarification, okay? When you ask a question, I give an answer. In case, oh, is it your question? Okay. So question, does brahmacharya mean celibacy or it means established in Brahman or self? So brahmacharya means celibate or Brahman is brahmanist? That was the question here. Further, as per some great philosophers like J. Krishnamurti, celibacy is a conditioning resulting in conflict. So one common meaning of brahmacharya is celibacy. But brahmani charati iti brahmachari. So what brahmacharya came really, where Brahma means Veda, and brahmachari is one therefore who is committed to study of Vedas. And now, since study of Veda always took place in Gurukulam, it meant a certain way of life also, which involved Guru Seva, the service to the teacher, and studying the Vedas. So that's what the brahmachari, his life of brahmachari meant, and of course celibacy goes with it. Brahmacharya means celibacy is for everybody. Maybe its definition may change somewhat. For a brahmachari, celibacy is in a primary sense. For a grihastha, celibacy is prescribed in the scriptures. For a vanaprastha, celibacy means they live as friends, husband and wife. Again for sannyasi, celibacy is celibacy. So both brahmachari and sannyasi, brahmacharya means celibacy. For others, it is conditional celibacy. But brahmacharya in terms of self-control, meaning control over one's senses, is there for all stages of life. Meaning ideally indulgence is not appreciated at all, always living within the boundaries. What those boundaries are is different. For a student, boundaries are narrow. For a grihastha, boundaries are more flexible, but there are boundaries there also. Vanaprastha, the boundaries are somewhat different. Sannyasa again, the boundaries are stricter. But basically they always want everybody to live a life of discipline, self-restraint with boundaries, so as to conserve the energy and so as to use that energy for a useful purpose such as self-growth and not waste it away. In that sense, brahmacharya also means celibacy. And as J. Krishnamurti would say, it's a conditioning which could very well be. Meaning that it should be something that one has to grow into. And no doubt that some amount of self-restraint is called for brahmacharya, provided it is within the limits. If that self-restraint becomes beyond a certain point, becomes self-suppression, in which case it can be harmful also. Self-restraint or self-discipline is desirable, but suppression is not desirable. And so, that brahmacharya, that you think that, but that's what you should be, and it becomes sort of a value and conditioning, it can result into the self-damage, which is what one has to decide for oneself. Because it's meant as a spiritual value. And if it means the self-suppression, then it does damage rather than help. By religion, we see brutality, divisions in the world. So whether naming oneself as Hindu, Christian, Muslim will result in the unity for which all the religions talk about. See, it is not the religion that brings about brutality or division really. Religion can be used as an excuse for one's brutality. Religion can be used as an excuse for division, for self-asserting, for proclaiming that I am superior and you are inferior, I am right and you are wrong. So religion can be used for serving self-purpose of one's own self, which is what is being done. It was done earlier, but now it is done on a large scale. It will become a political thing. There is no such thing as religious war. It's all political stuff. The people who talk about religion, etc., are all politicians, or they are motivated by politicians. So there is no spirituality, there is no religiosity, there is nothing there. No religious wars. People fight, that's all. That is because they are only instigated by people who have some vested interest. What do you mean? What do you talk about this? What is suicide bombers and stuff like that? They're all thoughtless people. Although they may say, no, they are not thoughtless. They are all educated people. Formerly they thought that all these suicide bombers are all misguided people, and but they are educated. Educated, so what? Still illiterate, educated, illiterate, or non-thinking people. And therefore somebody can influence you, brainwash you, and make you think in a manner where it is very clear that what you are doing is violence, is against all accepted values, and still you justify that. And so they are so brainwashed that they can justify in the name of religion. So there is no religion, this is all politics. People who are doing this are politicians, These fellows are just, they are nothing. They are the handle. They are the, the puppets. That's all they are. Pawns, right. They have lost all their brain. But the people who are doing at the top level are all politicians. Even in the name of religious leaders, there is politics there in terms of power. What they want is dominance and power. So, greater following you have, more powerful you are, and you influence more policies and stuff like that. No religion business anyway, always politics. All conversion is the politician's job, not a religious person's job. All violence is politician's job, it's politics, it's maneuvering, manipulating, nothing else. So people who become their instruments or pawns, they may be religious, supposedly religious people who are thoughtless people. So no divisions are carried out by religion, and no cruelty is by religion. It is done by people who have their own ulterior motives, who use non-thinking people as a means of accomplishing their agenda. That's all it is. That's my view anyway. That's what I think. So wars in name of religion, never. Human being wants to fight. Why does he want to fight? For power, for dominance, for wealth. So he can use anything as an excuse. Religion has not only been excused in the history, even language can be used even skin of the color can be used as a race has been always used as an excuse. Something, used as an excuse to say that I don't want you. It's human mind which is where the violence is. And that mind doesn't even know that it is using something as simply as an excuse to fight, that's all, to dominate or to accomplish one's own agenda. So, we used to have a story of that lamb and a wolf. So, a wolf one goes to drink water, I guess, at a lake or something like that, or a river perhaps. And the lamb also comes. So this wolf wants to kill the lamb. So he says to the lamb, "Hey, fellow, stop drinking water. You drink water and your water is coming to my side, you are polluting water. Stop it." He says, "I'm sorry, sir, but it's the other way around. Water is coming from your end to my end. I'm not polluting." "Hey, you are polluting. You did yesterday, but I never came here before. Your father came. He found and he killed him." So the point is that you want to kill. For that you have to find some excuse. That's what they do. Nothing more, nothing different from this, really. So it's not fight of religion, it's all political stuff. Did Reikwa impart the knowledge to the king? Kindly bring the brief, is it? The Vidya and the benefits that can be visited, I guess. That's what we talked and will continue tomorrow also. So the Upadesha that Reikwa imparted to king is called Samvarga Vidya. Vayurvava Samvargaha, that Vayu is Samvarga, the place of merger. And sure, how Vayu is the place of merger? At the cosmic level, at the individual level. So that's what, and we talked about it. And we may talk about it, depends, what comes to my mind, but tomorrow also we may continue about it. Biomagnetism, are you under cake? Oh, wow. Biomagnetism. Oh, this way. Biomagnetism is a phenomenon of magnetic fields produced by living organisms. It is a subset of bioelectromagnetism. In contrast, organisms use of magnetism in navigation is magnetoception, and the study of the magnetic fields effects on organisms is magnetobiology. Wow. The word biomagnetism has also been used loosely to include magnetobiology, further encompassing almost any combination of the words magnetism, cosmology and biology, such as magneto-astrobiology. The origin of the word biomagnetism is unclear, but still the meaning also is unclear to me anyway. But seems to appear several hundred years ago linked to the expression animal magnetism. The present scientific definition took form of researchers in 1970s when increasing number of researchers began to measure the magnetic fields produced by the human body. The first valid measurement was actually made in 1963, but the field of research began to expand only after a low noise technique was developed in 1970. Today the community of biomagnetic researchers does not have a formal organization, but international conferences are held every 2 years. We have 600 attendees. Most conference activity centers on the MEG, magnetoencephalogram, the measurement of magnetic fields of the brain. So that means that biomagnetism is a magnetism produced by human body. Some kind of aura, I guess, magnetic aura you might say, that the body, everything is a magnetic aura anyway, because everything attracts everything else. But a study of the magnetism that a human body produces. There are other kind of things also. There are auras around human body. Sometimes some people see them. It's blue and then it's red and things like that. So,
mistake not perhaps this CTC, then this MRI, they have this biomagnetism used in their
electromagnetism.
Biomagnetism is because the body is pushed inside that.
No, the experts don't seem to agree, but I have nothing to say about it. And if it is so, let it be, that's okay. Yes, there is some kind of camera which I guess they may capture the magnetic aura or other aura also, I guess. I don't, do they? Are there cameras that capture aura? Okay, they do. All right, we'll have to try. If we have any aura or not, I don't know.
Risky business, Swamiji.
Huh?
Risky business. It is a risky business.
It's risky business? Yeah, I know.
Swamiji, then how do you safeguard your children and the new generation that is there from all these alternative things that are coming up right now? What we have.
All kinds of fields that are coming up, how to save the children from them? Yeah, I don't know. Today I said it is International Bird. It is actually World Sparrow Day. By the way, I should correct myself. Where is our friend Pedro? I told him International Birds Day. Something I told him. It is World Sparrow Day. By the way, that's what it is. World, not Internet. World Sparrow Day. Today he pointed out a bird. And I saw it for the first time, and so I thought, see, on this day, on the day of the bird, a special bird came to bless us. He says, no, it comes every year, Swamiji, all night. So then I thought there was something special.
Swami, sparrows actually have really got wiped out of India.
Wiped out of India because of all these cell phone, all this field, I guess, the waves. That the generates, sparrows are gone. And you and I also will go someday, I guess, if it continues that way. You need something to absorb everything anyway, so that's all. It's all samvarga. So these magnetic, these fields also are samvarga absorbing things. Arsha Vidya is passed on from one generation to next generation. Present young generation has had more diversions and seems to have less inclinations for this study. So how is the future for this knowledge going to be? So far we are all right. See, present young generation has diversions all right. But they also have emotions. They also emotional issues are there. Any generation has, so present generation also has emotional issues. So they will need solutions. And of course they will go to perhaps a therapist to begin with. When you don't find solutions, then you have to come here, isn't it? So they'll come. They may not be willing to listen to you, but when they will discover the need of this, then they'll come. So, okay, I think this knowledge will take care of itself. But we should continue to do what we do. Keep on encouraging them to come to Gurukulam or ashram here. In what way is different from universal magnetism? So I just read about magnetism. I guess that answers the question. Because it doesn't matter to me in what way is different. But what does it matter? Asti bhati priyam. Everything is not priyam. Asti means is, correct? That the part is. Bhati means it shines in consciousness, yes. But priyam, I don't really care for it. But how is it priyam? That's a good question. You say everything asti bhati priyam, and everybody says yes. So he thinks asti bhati is all right. Where is priyam? But asti bhati in that is priyam. You may have a problem with the name and form, understand? If there is something that you do not like, what you do not like is the name and form. But asti bhati part you always love. You know why? Because that's yourself. Or even name and form also can become object of love. Everything is loved by somebody at some time. You follow? Somebody likes it. I may not like it. Somebody likes it at a given time, at a given place, in a given condition. Meaning that when the right conditions are created, then a thing becomes likable. So everything is liked by somebody at some time, in some place, in some conditions. Not necessarily by me, by somebody. That much we can accept, isn't it? That whatever it is liked by somebody. What I hate also, a cow may like, somebody else may like. The fact that somebody likes it under certain conditions means that it is inherent content of being liked. Inherent content of being liked or priyatvam must be there, then only somebody can like it at some point in time. You follow? If it is no priyatvam at all, it doesn't have any content of love, any content of happiness at all, then nobody can experience happiness from that thing at any time. But there is nothing in the world that is not enjoyed by somebody at some time under certain conditions. Even garbage, anything. Perhaps an animal may enjoy that. When can somebody enjoy it? If there is the content of enjoyment in that. Which means that if we also achieve the same state of mind that entity has, then we will also like it. Voila. So when you like it? When the mind is free from all likes and dislikes, then you like everything. Everything makes you happy when you are happy. When there is no likes and dislikes in you, you are cheerful. And then everything you like. So what deprives us from the Priyam part is not because the Priyam or happiness is not there, except that for appreciating Asti, I don't need any preparation. Even with likes and dislikes also I can appreciate Asti. With all likes and dislikes I can appreciate Bhati. But with likes and dislikes I cannot appreciate Priyam even if it is there. So Priyam which is there in everything requires me to have a mind free from Raga and Dvesha. Then I can enjoy anything. You can see the beauty in anything. So Priyam is, everything is Priyam also. Asti Bhati and Priyam also. Is that clear? Not to you, whoever asked this question. I know. Is that okay? Alright. Then next one. Let me complete this. Can we exert our prarabdha through dream experience in waking? Meaning that are we exhausting the prarabdha in dream state? Yes. When we experience dreams, also some karma phala is experienced. Particularly what cannot be experienced during waking state, for that the dream is created because we need perhaps certain kind of conditions to experience that karma phala, which may not be created in the waking state. So dream state provides you with an opportunity to experience your karma phala. In dream we only exhaust karma. There is no kartrutva there, only bhoktrutva. Meaning dream is the result of prarabdha, and in dream we exhaust prarabdha. Right? Yeah. I'll come back to
Regarding the Bhati Priyam part of it, could be related to just what you said is perfectly alright. That it may be pleasing to
Why don't you give the microphone? ऐसे क्या मरो हो चु?
Yes, Swamiji, I know that you said that Priyam part is the one, especially it could Priyam to somebody, or once we have no likes and dislikes, then everything is Priyam.
Priyam to you also, yeah.
But usefulness of it can be also part of the Priyam part.
What is it?
Usefulness of the object.
But usefulness also you have to recognize. You recognize usefulness of a given thing only in a given situation. Like a rock also becomes useful when there is a flat tire and you want to put something underneath your tire, then that stone also becomes useful, then becomes Priyam. Meaning that condition must be created for you to appreciate Priyam. It is there in there, some condition must be created for you to experience that. Yeah, 1 minute, yeah.
So, Swamiji, if Brahman or Ishvara is the Sampaka that swallows everything and swallows itself, why is that?
Not swallows itself, swallows everything.
Thank you. Why is that when creation comes into birth, brings along a prarabdha karma, shouldn't it be as well swallowed along with all that has been before?
In the state of pralaya or dissolution, everything is swallowed. By swallowed doesn't mean it gets destroyed, understand? Swallowed, it remains intact, except that it is not manifest. It goes out of sight. Then to come back again, when it becomes manifest. So, in swallowing, nothing really gets destroyed. The effect merges into cause, again to come back as effect. So, swallowing is the effect or manifest becoming unmanifest or cause, and creation means the unmanifest again becoming manifest. Right? I and my wife have lived all our adult life in the USA, where we have contributed all our savings into retirement fund. It's alright if I read this, isn't it? Retirement fund, retirement annuities and social security we have saved. We are not ready for sannyasa, but the process of retirement benefits is a bondage that is tough to overcome. Process retirement benefits is a bondage. What do you mean by bondage? Is an attraction? Tough to overcome. Money is not a bondage, money is empowerment. If the retirement benefit gives you income, that income is an empowerment, why is it called bondage? That income empowers you to do what you like to do. And with now this teaching of Vedanta, when you feel that you should like to be a contributor, then you can use that money as a means of contribution. Why should it be a bondage? Unless I are not understood, huh?
Empowerment comes with certain responsibilities. I think because the moment you are empowered, you certain responsibilities automatically get sort of thrust on you. So you have to fulfill that. I think that must be one of the reasons why empowerment. If I am today made the Prime Minister, maybe I am empowered, but there is a lot of responsibility.
No. When I say the income, all this, the retirement fund, retirement annuity, social security, is all source of income, right? When you retire. Yeah. So that means that now you have income. So this process of retirement benefits, meaning income, is it the process of investing? Is there a big bondage, or the money that comes to you is a bondage? What is the bondage? Huh? Is a big bondage.
Management of that.
Hmm?
When you have plenty of money, management, then that's a bondage. I mean, you're tied down with that. Where it goes and how, then again you are into bola.
Well, the thing is, whether to make it a bondage or not is up to us. Investment may take your time, like many other things, and because you have to make choices, and therefore perhaps it may require you to pay attention. But why is it tough? I know there are consultants, there are money managers, portfolio managers and stuff. Yeah, okay. So this is a problem of affluence, you know. This is not a problem. So affluence also can create problems because you want to make the most out of it. Why does it become tough? Because you want to extract the most out of every dollar. So there you have to consider so many alternatives to make sure that your investment is no, not only multiply, it brings the maximum rate of return.
There the bondage comes. You are satisfied with the simple, returns. There is no bondage. If you want to multiply, then the problem.
I give there.
That deviates your focus also.
It's up to you. As he said, you can make simple investment and then be content with what comes. But no, I want to put in this annuity and this fund and that gives this much. Then of course it's a full-time job. It is a full-time job. So it depends on what you want to do with that thing. Right. So, as I said, make a compromise. Don't insist upon getting the most out of every dollar, nor do you just be indifferent to that, but take some simple course so that you get reasonable return from your money and be satisfied with that. Then it won't be too bothersome. What is the source of sound? What is the source of sound? So we said the other day 4 stages of sound. Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari. So this sound is Vaikhari. That emerges through the throat, the articulated sound. But before the articulated word comes out, it is in the form of a thought. Because a thought alone comes out as words. And thought has 2 stages, manifest thought and before this unmanifest thought. Every cause, effect is in a cause. And unmanifest thought emerges from consciousness. So consciousness manifests as the unmanifest thought, the manifest thought and the sound, the sound that you hear. So ultimately source of everything is consciousness, including source of sound. Okay, so that's done for tonight.